Rice, age 11.
Heard toward the southern coast of the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico and on Central America. There's a mad scramble to clear out of its way, but the damage still could be enormous. NBC's Kerry Sanders.
Across Central America, while residents try to escape Hurricane Mitch's fury, a storm so dangerous, so powerful, winds gust in excess of 180 miles per hour. A Category 5 hurricane, the most destructive punch a hurricane can pack. 350 miles across, on a zigzag course, Mitch creeps towards coastal Central America. The eye of the monstrous storm is expected to hit Belize Thursday, but already along the coasts, residents feeling the effects. This woman says, "I am sad because I don't know if we're going to get through this." The outer bands of Hurricane Mitch dumping 10 inches an hour. Some cities flooded. Already, 4 people have drowned. Experts predict Hurricane Mitch could cause massive coastal flooding and in rural areas, mudslides. In the resort city of Cancun, Mexico, hotels boarded up. The rush is now on to get out. Tourists cutting vacations short. No one wants to miss the last flight out.
When they start boarding up your room, I think it's time to go.
Well, we were supposed to stay here for a week. This is our 3rd day, and of course, we want to be safe and protect our families, and we're out of here.
At the National Hurricane Center, forecasters tracking the deadly storm.
I'm afraid that they're really going to have a disaster on their hands in Honduras, just from the rainfall. And then if it does stay on our track towards Belize and the Yucatan, they're going to get the whole 9 yards, the storm surge, the winds, and the rain over there.
Tonight, Hurricane Mitch is moving slowly. Its winds are now down into the 150-mile-per-hour range. The longer it stays out over the ocean, experts say, the more it churns up cold water. And that's good news, because the cold water saps its strength. Kerry Sanders, NBC News, Cancun, Mexico.
One of the major concerns about Hurricane Mitch is the scheduled liftoff Thursday of John Glenn's shuttle flight. That's looking better tonight, but a storm of this magnitude is a killer. And history is a reminder of just how dangerous these hurricanes can be. NBC's Robert Hager is at Cape Canaveral tonight. Robert?
Tom, with Mitch drifting to the west for now, NASA does not see it as any threat here, predicts an on-time launch. But a hurricane like that, with strong winds that peaked at 180 miles an hour overnight, is one of the strongest known, one of the all-time monster storms. The highest winds ever recorded in a hurricane hitting the U.S., 195 miles an hour, in killer Hurricane Camille in 1969, slamming into the Mississippi coast, blowing all the way to Virginia. At the National Center for Atmospheric Research, hurricane expert Roger Pelkey.
It killed more than 250 people in the United States. We haven't seen anything like that in about 30 years, and if we do, we'll see tremendous damage and loss of life.
Some say another storm might have been even stronger, called the Labor Day hurricane, plowing through the Florida Keys in 1935, on official claims of winds as high as 200 miles an hour. 2 more storms packed huge winds, but spared the U.S. mainland. Hurricane Gilbert slamming into Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula in 1988 with winds of 185, going on to terrorize the Texas coast for a while, but finally blowing inland over Monterrey, Mexico. Hurricane Allen following a similar course in 1980, winds of 190 miles an hour. But by the time it hit shore over Brownsville, Texas, the wind had diminished.
The one word that scientists use to describe those storms is catastrophic.
Other records, costly as ever, a Category 4 storm, not Category 5. 1992's Hurricane Andrew, $35 billion damage, mostly in South Florida. And the deadliest ever, also a Category 4. A 1900 hurricane sweeping over Galveston, Texas, killing 6,000. As for the space program, hurricanes or tropical storms have forced delays in the past. 12 times the shuttle has had to be pulled back from its pad. But no launch has ever been scrubbed by such a threat. And tonight, NASA predicts this one, too, will go off on time. Tom?
Thanks very much, Robert Hager, tonight at Cape Canaveral. I'll see you there tomorrow night, Bob. Still ahead, NBC News in depth. When it comes time to retire, why are so many women coming up short?
I wouldn't begrudge staying home with my children, but I'm paying the price now.
What women need to know about planning for their financial future, planning now. and John Glenn's first flight into space. Those 3 orbits around the globe so many years ago inspired the young man who spent months on board the Mir. And where were you on that historic day in 1962 when John Glenn took his first ride into space? All this week we're asking Americans what that first launch meant to them.
Here was this courageous individual going out there, boldly going where no American had gone before, if you will. And to be sharing that, you know, at that moment on TV was really both heart-stopping and exhilarating experience.
When they said the world didn't need another nose strip, we said, oh yeah? How about making one that's contoured for a good fit, giving it a centering bump so you know where to place it, and using a skin-friendly adhesive? Introducing Clear Passage, an ergonomically advanced nose strip designed to relieve the symptoms of nasal congestion. Oh, and one last thing. How about having it made by the maker of Afrin Nasal Spray, the people who know more about the nose than anyone? New Clear Passage. We know noses.
Introducing the new Silverado. It's bigger. It's more powerful. It's the truck from Chevrolet. He's worked almost 40 years. She's worked almost 40 years. And during that time, they've gone on walks together instead of cruises, and shared secrets together instead of champagne, just so that someday they could retire and be together all the time. At Cigna, we care about the retirement dreams of over 5 million people. After all, they're our dreams, too. Cigna, a business of caring.
Boys and ghouls, beware. It's time for the Today Show's Halloween costume contest. So create a new you, then come down and say boo. Friday on Today.
American and other NATO warplanes are not in the sky tonight over Kosovo and Yugoslavia. President Milosevic waited until the last possible moment to withdraw his Serb forces from Kosovo, where they have been slaughtering ethnic Albanians. And joining me now with the latest on all of this, NBC's Jim Miklashevsky at the Pentagon tonight. Jim?
Tom, with Serb forces apparently in full retreat tonight, NATO has called off airstrikes in Kosovo, but only for now. NATO's threat to hit the Serbs militarily still remains.
With the deadline looming for NATO airstrikes, 2 p.m. Eastern Time today, the Serbs began withdrawing most of their military and special police from offensive positions in Kosovo. In Washington, President Clinton hailed the news, claiming the combination of military threats and tough talk forced Yugoslav President Slobodan Milosevic to call off his troops.
NATO's willingness to act, combined with determined diplomacy, created this chance to end the suffering and repression in Kosovo?
Not entirely. Ethnic Albanian refugees by the thousands began returning to what's left of their homes, burned out and ransacked by Serb forces.
I came to see what they have done, but like you are seeing together with us, everything is destroyed and steel and there is nothing.
The Serbs left behind other, more deadly reminders. One refugee was killed, 2 others injured when they triggered a landmine. Along with the refugees came more NATO-backed observers who will monitor the ceasefire in Kosovo. To make sure Milosevic keeps his word, NATO forces will remain on standby, ready to strike if Serb forces return, including American B-52s pre-staged in Great Britain and Navy warships on patrol in the Adriatic, all armed with cruise missiles.
Milosevic should be under no illusions. NATO will be overhead and next door.
At the same time, U.S. officials issued a warning to ethnic Albanian rebels today that if they break the ceasefire and attack Serb troops, they're on their own. NATO will not ride to the rescue.
U.S. officials also warn this is only a temporary solution. The long-term goal is to hold peace talks that could lead to a political settlement. But given Kosovo's violent history, there's serious concern those talks may never take place. One senior Pentagon official said tonight, it'll be dicey. Tom?
Thanks, Jim Miklashevsky at the Pentagon tonight. In Russia tonight, what was first described as a vacation for Boris Yeltsin now has turned into a trip to the hospital. The Russian president met with his prime minister before Evgeny Primakov headed off to Austria to replace Yeltsin at a meeting of the European Union. And later, President Yeltsin was admitted to the hospital for what was described as high blood pressure and also exhaustion. News on the economy tonight. Consumers apparently are feeling more pessimistic than they have in about 2 years now due to the economic turmoil around the world and the jittery stock market here at home. The Consumer Confidence Index was down more than 9 points this month. That's its lowest level since December 1996. That may not bode well for retailers with Christmas shopping on the way. And it was not good news on Wall Street today. The Dow was down more than 66 points. The NASDAQ dropped more than 7. The top 5 technology stocks today were mixed. When we come back, NBC News in Depth tonight, settling in for retirement. Why women face a much tougher road to financial security later in their life.
Al, fine. How are you, Lillian?
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Fortunately, there's Nasonex nasal spray, an effective nasal allergy prescription medicine taken once a day that relieves sneezing, itchy runny nose, and congestion, indoors and out. Now that's wonderful. Nasonex, what good days are like every day. The most common side effects were headache, viral infection, sore throat, nosebleeds, and coughing.
Announcing an amazing discovery. Now One-A-Day has combined herbs with vitamins, like our cold season formula with echinacea, vitamin C, and zinc. There's one for memory, even cholesterol health. Discover what they can do for you.
You see a business deal. At Sprint, we see data. Data that lays the groundwork, that allows people to collaborate. It's the sharing of information that helps build business. And with Sprint Ion, our integrated on-demand network, we'll soon be linked together with even greater ease, flexibility, and power. Because business runs on data, and data runs on Sprint.
It's time for news that's relevant to your life. It's time for a newscast that brings you in-depth coverage of the Northwest of the nation. It's time for News Channel 8. Intelligent reporting, Unit 8 investigations, pinpoint accurate weather. It's time for Northwest News Channel 8, where the news comes first.
NBC News in Depth, smart money. Tonight, when women face the financial pressures of retirement. Today at the White House, the president held a conference on women and their retirement plans, especially the biggest safety net of all, Social Security. Almost 27 million retired Americans now receive Social Security benefits, and almost 13 million of them are women. Whether a woman is getting ready to retire or just beginning to plan for it, there are so many hidden challenges. NBC's Ann Thompson tonight, in depth.
32 million baby boomer women in their 30s, 40s, and 50s went to work this morning. But less than 1 in 5 came home tonight with their retirement financially secure.
But in the case of women, Social Security is especially important.
At today's White House teleconference, President Clinton pledged to protect Social Security and told women at a dozen sites around the country he wants to make taking time off from a job to care for children or elderly parents count towards your retirement plan.
Sometimes the few months spent at home with a child mean the difference between pension benefits and no pension benefits. That is precisely the wrong message to send to people who are trying to balance work and family.
51-year-old Carol Nelson of
You know, I wouldn't begrudge staying home with my children, but I'm paying the price now.
The National Center for Women in Retirement Research says every year a woman stays home to care for a child, she must work 5 years to recover lost income, pension, and promotions. She also loses Social Security benefits.
Less than a third of baby boom women will earn full Social Security benefits based on their own work record.
A working woman earns 74 cents for every dollar a man makes, but in retirement, the gender gap widens. The average annual pension for a newly retired woman, $4,800. Compare that with a man, $9,600. Women also live longer than men, 3.5 more years on average. So the president proposes giving retired couples a choice. Take less of the principal breadwinner's pension, most often the man's, while he's alive. So his widow gets more when he dies. That option could have helped Frances Stanley, a 63-year-old Chicago widow who's had to go back to work.
I found that the Social Security benefits and the little annuity is just not enough.
So what should you do? Experts say women need to learn about pension plans early, participate in 401k and retirement accounts, negotiate the sticky issue of caring for elderly parents with other family members, and most of all, save more. But working women will tell you they can't save more until they earn more, the ultimate obstacle to retirement security. Ann Thompson, NBC News, Chicago.
Still ahead here tonight, the original guy who still has the right stuff. What does Chuck Yeager, the man who broke the sound barrier, think of John Glenn's new mission?
Chevy Silverado, the Motor Trend Truck of the Year. It's bigger, it's more powerful. It's the truck from Chevrolet.
Gosh, you know, I just went to use the phone.
You say once you got back, your wife was gone.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
What?
Have you checked the hot enchilada?
Oh, no. Millicent gets terrible heartburn.
Not this time.
What's that?
Looks like the remains of an individually wrapped Pepsid AC chewable.
Introducing Pepsid AC Chewables, the first chewable to stop heartburn before it starts.
Millicent? Is that you?
Start living heartburn-free with new Pepsid AC Chewables.
Parenting is a constant learning process. What you have to do is prioritize.
Back in '88, Earl wanted to retire, spend more time with Tiger.
Like Dad taught me.
I met an American Express financial advisor. Dave is a personal friend of mine to this day. We trust each other because we got a track record.
It's about making smarter decisions.
We're a team, and that's when dreams can happen.
American Express Financial Advisors.
Winter, the worst season for skin. Cold air, dry heat all contribute to make your skin drier than any other time of year. There is a way to fight winter dryness. Oil of Olay. Every moisturizing product we make, from our body wash to our daily UV protectant, combats winter dryness, leaves your skin soft and smooth. Why spend another winter with dry skin when there's Oil of Olay, proven to turn winter into wonderful?
The election day is just 1 week away, and one of the most powerful forces in American politics these days is the Christian conservative movement. Motivated, organized, and well-financed. The Christian right should expect to do very well in a state like Alabama, where the incumbent governor is one of their own. But, surprise, here's NBC's Fred Francis.
He's behind by 25 points, and Alabama Governor Bob James, a champion of the religious right, may be riding the so-called victory train right out of office.
Governor, the polls are ugly.
They're always ugly for me.
But, I mean, they're really ugly.
They're always really ugly for me.
Nationwide, Republicans have the edge in 9 of 11 governor's races, but here, Democrats are exploiting a rift James inadvertently helped create between conservatives, religious and economic.
He alienated not just the business community, but the more middle and upper middle class traditional Republicans by his strong association with the religious right.
In support of the Christian conservative ideas, some say James' behavior has been embarrassing. Walking like an ape to show his disapproval for teaching the theory of evolution, and threatening to call out the National Guard to protect a display of the 10 Commandments in a courtroom. Despite all that, at Lakeside Baptist Church in Birmingham, faith in Bob is strong.
Christians from all denominations and all races will be supportive of Governor James simply because he has stood with the church on issues that are close to us.
Conservative Christians have flexed their political muscle for Bob James in the past.
In 1994, they are credited with helping him overcome a 10-point deficit in the polls within a week of the election. James went on to win the governor's chair by 1 percentage point. Ex-Christian Coalition Director Ralph Reed declares the religious right must go to the wall for James this time, too, in a race he says is a referendum on pro-Christian issues. Yet local experts say the bottom line here is not conservative Christian values, but economics.
Voters are choosing between two sets of values, perhaps, and this year it looks like they're going to choose more of the education and job side of the values question as opposed to the prayer and the Ten Commandments side.
That's no secret to James' opponent, Democratic Lieutenant Governor Don Siegelman, who proposed a state lottery to fund education. And in a state where 1 out of every 3 adults is functionally illiterate, that's a political idea which, if successful, could spell the last stop for Governor Fob James and the first meaningful loss for the Christian right. Fred Francis, NBC News, Birmingham.
From politics to health news tonight, a new study out suggests that first heart attacks are more severe in women than they are in men. It's long been known that women tend to do worse after a first heart attack, but the new research shows the severity of the attack itself may be as much to blame as a woman's age or the quality of her medical care. Heart disease is the #1 killer of women and men in this country. Tomorrow night here on NBC Nightly News, a revolutionary new treatment for heart patients, getting amazing results and helping people live longer and live better.
I'm in the 9th week now. I feel like I did when I was 25 years old.
That's tomorrow on Nightly News. Up next, 2 days and counting, John Glenn's Big Adventure, Part 2.
I always thought we would go into space. And to me, it was mankind's destiny. John Glenn was our hero. He was a righteous American boy going up there and proving that we could put a man up there. We put a man up there.
When your allergies are a nightmare, you need fast relief. You need the power of Zyrtec. Prescription Zyrtec starts working fast and lasts 24 hours. So when allergies are a nightmare, remember the power of Zyrtec. In studies, drowsiness was the most common side effect. Other side effects included fatigue and dry mouth. Most were mild or moderate. To learn more, ask your doctor or pharmacist.
Enterprise? Hi, I'm at the repair shop. I need to rent a car.
Enterprise will arrange to pick you up,
This is great.
drive you to our place, and get you on your way. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Dandruff, psoriasis, scalp dermatitis. If you asked all the dermatologists listed here to recommend a therapeutic shampoo, Neutrogena T-Gel would come out #1. T-Gel works on all 3 itchy, flaky scalp conditions. Neutrogena T-Gel, it works.
If you could leave just a little bit over at every meal, it would really add up.
Imagine what you could avoid eating in a single month. If you're significantly overweight, 30 pounds or more, depending on height, your doctor has something that may help you eat less.
It's called Meridia, and it can help you lose weight and keep it off. You've got to do your part. You've got to do your part with diet and exercise. But Meridia can help.
Meridia is a prescription medicine, and it's not for everyone. It can substantially raise blood pressure, and it's not for people who are pregnant or nursing, under 16, or taking anything else for weight loss, depression, Parkinson's disease, migraines, or for people with anorexia, glaucoma, or serious heart problems. It's a controlled substance, so some patients may become dependent. Side effects may include headache, constipation, insomnia, and dry mouth. For more information, ask your doctor or call 1-888-4-MERIDIA.
I'm ready.
Meridia. You do your part, we'll do ours.
Join Tom Brokaw, Brian Williams, Jane Pauley, Katie Couric, and Matt Lauer for John Glenn's Return to Space, live Thursday on MSNBC and MSNBC.com.
Well, at the Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral tonight, it's 2 days and counting for the liftoff of the Shuttle Discovery. And it's a high-profile payload specialist, Senator John Glenn, who has spent part of this day in a final fit check of his water-cooled orange flight suit. All of the Discovery's crew took their final exams in the past couple of days, and they've passed. When John Glenn lifts off on Thursday, the rest of us will only wonder what it must be like to be so daring. Others who will be watching will know. They share the rare John Glenn DNA for adventure, young and old. More on that tonight from NBC's Bob Fall.
In the beginning, before John Glenn became an American icon, there were military test pilots in this country who sneered at the astronauts.
The capsule guys, that wasn't flying.
For General Chuck Yeager, first to break the sound barrier in 1947, this was flying man in control. By comparison, the astronauts went along for the ride, were human cannonballs, or what the pilots dubbed spam in a can. Why, look, they chortled, Glenn wasn't the first to orbit, a chimpanzee was.
The technology existed and tested and proven with the monkeys.
It all changed after Glenn blasted off.
Roger, we're programming and roll over.
And splashed down, and when his Mercury 7 capsule came to the Minnesota State Fair, and a 6-year-old visitor from England saw it, the visitor's life changed too.
That day, I was fixated on the fact that a man, John Glenn, had been in that capsule. And it was the process that totally seized me.
Glenn's voyage into the unknown didn't just shape the goals and the character of children. It was also an awakening, a turning point for an entire generation of Americans. For Michael Foale, it meant not just becoming an astronaut, but also a hero. Last year, he circled the Earth for 6 months in the Mir spacecraft and calmly repaired it, preventing disaster. Inspired, he says, by John Glenn.
We don't want heroes to be yelling and screaming in sheer terror throughout the whole flight, and he didn't do that, and he did it just the way I think we expected him to behave.
Because of how he behaved, we didn't just cheer. Children then, children now,
You're on the moon?
set their sights on the stars.
He's a hero because he did something that was very risky.
The original risk-taker, now 75, but still swamped by fan mail, concedes he has some misgivings about Glenn going back up.
The qualitative data they get off of Glenn is going to be, in my opinion, zilch.
Still, he's cheering Glenn on, and he knows why millions of others are doing the same.
They'd like to be like him because he accomplished something.
The greatest test pilot of them all, and the newest flyer with the right stuff, acknowledging the standard bearer, then and now. Bob Fall, NBC News, Houston.
And I will see you from Cape Canaveral in Florida tomorrow night. That's nightly news for Tuesday. Don't forget Dateline tonight at 10, 9 Central. See you tomorrow night.
Can't help people who can't help themselves.
Those are exactly the people we should be helping.
Don't ever pull this again!
I am a doctor. Nothing gets in the way of that.
This boy is gonna die!
Life and death don't take weekends off.
You'll be conscious the whole time.
ER. Saturday at 7 on News Channel 8. One call.